Hey everyone, welcome to my studio. Here is my personal mosaic project based on the Landscape of Dunwoody. I have a little bit of fused glass I need to make, so I'm going to start by loading the kiln. And then I will begin working on this portion under the trees. That's it. I had a few pieces sitting here that didn't fit in position, and I just cut them up. So I am going to fuse these pieces so that they round out in the kiln. And this one I glued down right here. And then I'll try to make one that fits here and a longer one that fits there. I have a couple extra pieces here, and this one sort of fits down here, but it's too long, so I think I'm going to go ahead and cut that one. Now that's going to fit perfectly, and then I'll be able to use this piece somewhere. And I'll wait to glue this one down until I make some more pieces, because I don't know how they'll fit just yet. So I'll hold off on that one. And these are all going to go into the kiln. This is it. This is really all that I need to fire to finish up. I know it's not a full load, and I feel weird firing a load like this, but I really don't need to make anything else. I'm not working on any other projects like I had done some trays in the past. So I'm just going to pop this in so that tomorrow I'll be able to glue in the last few pieces, which are right here. I am now ready to tackle these transition areas under the tree. I just have 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3. This one is quite small, so I've just selected 3 pieces of glass. And then they're similar to the glass that I've chosen in the past. So usually I've got a green, a teal, and then a pop of a brighter color. So each one of these has got some dark, some teal, some greens, and a pop of brightness. And I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to cut the pieces a little bit smaller just because the scale of this is a little bit smaller. And I want to fit some variation. What I usually do with these areas is I pre-cut the pieces and make sure that they fit. And then I come back in when I'm satisfied and I glue them down. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, and then I'll speed up the process for you and show you how I cut and fit the pieces. Go. Woohoo! I hope they fit. Here are the pieces freshly washed out of the kiln, and that one I hadn't glued down yet, but let's see how they fit. Looks good. So there's a little bit of room in there to add some little bits, and I'm going to start gluing them down. my kiln shelf, let's take a look at some of the ones I made on the big project. This is panel 1, and this, instead of being in a transition swath, it's in one of the field swaths. And I did make some special pieces, and then we mixed in yellow. I'm not going to be mixing in the yellow, but I do want to make some of these special pieces. So I think I took a piece of regular glass, and then I put clear and another color on top. So they each have 2 colors basically, and those mixed ones. So I'll just make a whole kiln load full of some different ones. I do want to make them a little bit smaller than this. So maybe this size, just because the scale of my project is so small. But I know Jennifer wanted some, so I'll just give her some extra ones when we're finished with our personal projects. The first thing I'll do is cut some strips of the fusible glass as the base. So I'm going to do maybe 4 strips. And I'm using the grid as a guideline, but that's because I want them a little bit on the small side. That when I finished using my scoring tool and set it down, the end fell off. It just needs to be tightened. So I'll get a little screwdriver, pop this on here and tighten it. Had to go hunt one down. Got it now. There we go, good as new. These are going to be amazing. It's going to be way more than we need for our 2 personal projects, but then we'll have some that we can just play around with. And I did make some blue and yellow rays here for my little sun rays up in the sky, I might use them. I don't know. They're really small just because the areas are so small compared to the big Landscape of Dunwoody mosaic. So on these, if I put the clear glass, then I made sure to layer a different color on top. Some of them are just stacked too high with the same color, and we'll see how they come out. The small ones you don't really need to stack because they ball up nicely usually. And that's it. Let's see what's in here. Oh, awesome. Oh, I love how they came out. And I got a lot of little ones too. Here's the difference between one where I put the pieces on 2 layers of colored glass versus putting it on a layer of clear in between. You get a little bit more depth and shadow with this one than you do with this one. Otherwise they look the same. And here's the difference between one where I put little clear bits and colored bits on top of one versus just putting colored bits on top of a colored base. You can see a little bit of the outline on the clear there. I ended up sorting them by color just so that I could select the ones that I wanted. And here's the layout. I haven't glued it down yet, but I think that's as much as I want to do. I could be putting little frit balls in between, but I think I'm going to just stop right there and that'll be grout. When I glue these pieces on, I'm using silicone, and I have to be careful because they're really slippery, and sometimes the silicone gets on my fingers or on top of the glass. So when I'm done, I clean it up with a wet wipe. As for these little bits, I just think that there's really not quite enough room to use them. So I think I will use glass in these areas, but I will use some iridized blues and yellows along with regular blues and yellows. That's it. Well, here's how far I got. I'm going to go ahead and hand this off to Jennifer next week, and I will just wait and do this portion with glass after she's finished with the ceramic parts, which is the trees and the hills. That's it. That's putting it together. Thanks for watching. See you next time.